Earlier, Herald Tribune political editor Zach Anderson joined me for a political corner in Studio B, and we talked about the special election in Alabama. Zach, thanks so much for joining us. Big election in Alabama. Historic is what some people are calling it. Doug Jones, the Democrat, upsets Roy Moore. But when we talk about this race, was this all about the sexual misconduct allegations, or was there more at play politically?
I think no doubt this was a special race in terms of you had a candidate who was had a unique amount of baggage. So for Democrats to get too excited about this, I think is unwarranted. You know, Roy Moore was already, somewhat controversial for a Republican, and then to have these sexual assault allegations against him, I think that really dragged him down. But there is a little bit for Democrats to celebrate here. They were able to mobilize significant turnout.
That is a very red state.
Yeah, it is a very red state, and so no doubt it's a big win for them. And obviously they're celebrating because they got a seat in the Senate, and now it's only 51-49, so a very narrow majority for Republicans. But I'm talking about in terms of going forward for the 2018 election, can you take a lot away from this? And I think that this was particular to Roy Moore and his issues, but there were some things like turnout. The Democrats saw an unusually high turnout and other issues that could help them going forward.
Too early to know if this affects President Trump's agenda. It sounds like this tax plan is not going to be inhibited because Doug Jones won't be up there, and then they would still have the majority. But moving forward,
yeah, I think it quite possibly could. I mean, we've seen where just a handful of votes, a handful of defections by GOP senators have sunk, their effort to repeal the Affordable Care Act. So no doubt, when you have just a tiny majority like they do now, that could have a big impact on the agenda going forward. And it also has a significant impact on Trump's ability to influence people. He tried to go in there and swing the election for Moore at the last minute, and he wasn't able to. And so I think his political power has diminished a little bit.
It's going to be an interesting election year. Zach, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.